Giving away millions of dollars in accounts. All right, we're not being stingy.
So 9,000 is the base for an average human trader.
We're here to change the industry. All right, we're doing it differently because we do have quite a lot of questions. Up to date, we have surpassed over $22,000 in payouts already.
Nice.
Before we get into the meat and bones of this conversation, we do want to kind of clear out. And again, no one's doing this in this industry yet. Good morning, Vietnam.
Traders, how are you?
Just kidding. We're not in Vietnam, but we are reporting live from the podcast studio here in España. Very grateful to be here. Thank you, Gabe, for joining me today on the podcast.
Thank you, Sir
Yet
Renzo.
again, we made it safely to Spain, guys. If you watched the last episode, you will see that we did talk about a lot of important things for the traders, for the trader community, such as the launch of the podcast and the launch of the deskfunding.com. We're here to change the industry, all right? We're doing it differently. In the last episode, we talked about everything we're launching, the price points you can get in at. And today, we're here to answer a lot of questions, give you an update on where we currently stand in the journey. You know, we're here in Spain, and again, we are trader bros. Our goal here is to survive solely off of trading profits and trading profits only. So we'll give you a transparent update as far as where we stand on our accounts. We're going to show you our accounts we've traded with the desk so far. We're going to walk you through how to get started. And we're going to just give you an update on the community because things are growing and they're growing very fast. And listen, if you're not in the Discord, if you're not subscribed, not following us on Twitter,
join, guys.
That's a big mistake. Make sure you guys follow us. Tap in, join the journey. We're giving away millions of dollars in accounts. All right, we're not being stingy.
How much did we already give away in accounts?
I'll have to get that exact number for you, but it's definitely well over $1 million.
Wow.
We've only been around for, 3 months since the beginning, since the very, very beginning. But since the actual launch, guys, it's been less than 30 days. And we're going very fast. You probably have seen us on Twitter. And we're taking over the game. We're here to do it, and we're here to do it right.
If you guys have seen, the Twitter is growing, the Discord is growing, already almost 2,000 members in just a couple of weeks, which is amazing.
Yeah, we'll be hitting 2,000 members today in the Discord. We're less than 40 members away. Yes.
Let's go. Clap it up, guys. Clap it up.
But we're not stopping there. We are not getting comfortable. We're going to continue to grow.
Yep.
We're going to scale the Discord to 100,000 members. We know there's millions of traders out there for you that are looking for something different, that are looking for something new, and we're here to provide that. Transparency is key, and the best part is no payout denials. We will never deny a payout, ever. And we have not denied a payout. I think up to date, we have surpassed over $22,000 in payouts already.
Nice.
That number is probably very outdated as well, to be completely honest. But listen, guys, we're going to the moon. We want to see you join us. All right,
let's go to the moon. Let's go to the moon. But no, the cool thing is that I was in the Discord, I was on the Twitter, and I see all these people, all these traders are seeing like the new product, and they're like blown away. They're like, there's literally zero eval. Like, I can get paid today. Like, this is something that I've wanted. All these people are like saying, wow, this is something that the industry is needed. And I'm glad that the people are starting to finally like see that this is the product that's going to actually help them get paid and actually start making money and being profitable as a trader.
We have a lot of supporters, guys, from very early stages, and we want to say thank you very, very much for the support.
Of course.
We would not be here today if it was not for your support. And, outside of the supporters, you got to acknowledge the haters. The haters are always going to be there. They're out there. And I do want to shout out one hater, Mr. What's his name? Forget his name, but from Maven, the CEO, I believe, Hunter. Yeah, if you're watching this video, this one's for you, man. You said we couldn't do it. We're doing it. We're here. We're living, breathing proof. Check the pulse. All right, guys, we're doing it.
We are live.
It's been done. Payouts are cooking. The traders are cooking. The dashboard is looking sleek and slick.
So
super
clean.
fast.
So clean.
We have TradingView charts built right into the web trader, the platform that you guys are already used to.
See, that's the thing about other firms that I've used personally in the past is that the platform that I'm trading on with the other firms they're trash. Let's be completely honest, right? I'm used to TradingView. I've been trading TradingView for 3-4 years now. And the fact that the desk, literally, you can trade on TradingView. Nothing has to change. You don't have to learn a new product, learn a new platform. Everything is right there for you, customized the way that you want to trade, right? For me, that's been the easiest transition going from random firms to the desk is that I can trade on TradingView. Nothing has to change.
Yeah, we're here to keep it simple, guys. We're going to give you exactly what you're used to, what you already use, what you need. And that's pretty much it. We don't want to overcomplicate it. And let's get right into it, guys. Let's talk about the product, the daily funded sessions, because we do have quite a lot of questions. Before we get into the meat and bones of this conversation, we do want to kind of clear out some common misconceptions we've been seeing. A lot of questions. People are coming in and having the same questions. So the first thing I want to say is a lot of traders are very, very used to the typical prop firm model, all right? You've kind of been brainwashed, so-and-so, by your experiences in this industry, by the prop firms and the rules that they set, right? Some of those things, you know, if you're a CFD trader, maybe you're used to a 1-phase or a 2-phase challenge, maybe even a 3-phase challenge if you're trying to save money, right? I know some firms have that option. We're here to remove the challenge completely, all right? With the desk, there is no challenge, all right? That's number one. When you come in, you're going to get an account and you are funded instantly. Now, another question we get is people ask, oh, can I get payouts every day? You will and you can get a payout in the same day. However, I must state that, again, this is a 24-hour funded session. So you're not going to be able to trade this for 25 hours, for anything past 24 hours, not even a second past 24 hours, all right?
Yeah.
As soon as you take the first trade, boom, your session begins and you have 24 hours to trade. Now, with that being said, a lot of people have said, oh, you know, this is a trap. We want to see traders overtrade and take multiple trades in one session. Now, let's just be straight up here. We're not here to trap traders. We're not here to scam traders, right? This is just simply a new opportunity and a new tool. So if this is not for you, that's completely okay. Do not feel forced. Do not feel like you need to do this. Yeah. But if this is something that's interesting to you and you want to try it out, well, heck, give it a shot. Like we said in the last episode, it's only about one Chipotle price, right? Especially with the current discount. By the way, everyone's been loving the 78% off that we did for the launch. So we went ahead and we extended the promotion. All right, we extended the promotion
Insane, guys.
to August 15th. Today, we're recording this podcast. It's Thursday, August 6th, okay? So you have a few more days. Not sure when this podcast is going to be out, but please take advantage of the promotions. We do the promotions to give back and to give you an opportunity.
But also the thing is, like, this is not the last promotion. This is just the launch promotion. And yes, it got extended. You still have a great entry point, right? Get in at a good price. You get in, you know, right now it's super cheap. And it doesn't mean that it's going away just when the extension is over. We're going to be having promotions all the time, right? Don't worry. The accounts are cheap, but you guys have to realize that these accounts are for one day, right? These accounts are not for growing long term. These are accounts to get paid fast, get paid instantly, not to wait weeks past evaluation, wait weeks, get approved, wait weeks, get paid, right? These are simply just to trade and get paid.
And again, no one's doing this in this industry. Yes, you have instant accounts. Those instant accounts, first of all, big difference, all right? Those instant accounts, like some other competitors, you know, I'm not going to drop names, but you know exactly who I'm talking about, all right? $364 for a direct account, you know what I'm saying? It's quite hefty. You know, $300 is definitely not pocket change for most traders. You know, that's a significant amount of money. That's something you could dump into your live account, right?
Of course.
So again, the difference is, one, you have a very, very low price point, okay? You're able to get in for very cheap. Now, does cheap mean bad? No, it doesn't mean bad. This is completely different, all right? A lot of people try to compare it to the direct accounts, but there's a lot of differences. Now, the other thing is going to be the time period. Like we said, with these direct accounts, or even with the traditional prop firm account, futures account, I know there's a ton of futures traders out there. You guys are used to trading, And when you trade on these accounts, you need to really trade one day, the next day, the next day, right? You even have consistency in the eval, meaning for most firms nowadays, you can't pass in one day unless with a firm like Apex where you can literally full port the account, right? But at the end of the day, you're pretty much going to take at least multiple days on most firms, let's say minimum 2 days just to pass, all right? Now, you passing is not guaranteed, but let's just say hypothetically you're a great trader, you go ahead, you pass, cakewalk, you get funded, all right? You're already at least minimum 2 days in without earning anything. And then from there, boom, you got to trade a few more days on the funded account. Once you trade on the funded account, you need a few more things.
Consistency.
All right? You got to jump through hoops, right? Some firms have consistency on the funded stage, right? So that means you can't make too much on your winning trades. The other thing, though, is going to be the 5 days of green. Most firms, especially in the future space, require you to go ahead and make 5 days of green, 5 days of 250, right? So you're already in 7 days, right? 7 days is already more than a week's time because you only got 5 days in a week realistically to trade. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can't count the weekends. So if you go ahead and add the extra 2 days of the weekend that you're not trading, you're already 9 days in with no payout, right? And then you want to get a payout, well, you're going to need a buffer, right? That's an extra requirement. Maybe it takes you a few more days to get the buffer, right? I remember when I was trading Apex on the new accounts, you're reading the rules. It seems so good. You can make 2K your first pay or 1,500 your first payout, and it scales and it scales. But then once you're in profit on the account, you realize to actually be able to withdraw that 1,500, they require a huge buffer to even take out that money, right? You maybe even need a $4,000 buffer. So you already got to make 6K on the live. It's just a ton of hoops you got to jump through. A lot of time it takes. Now, look, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I know there's good traders out there that can do it. I know there's great traders out there that are doing it, right? But again, at the end of the day, when you come to the desk, what you're doing is you're 24 hours. You can get funded, right? You're instantly funded, right? Like I said, no evaluation. You're trading the live account instantly from the first trade. All right. Then you can get paid at the end of the session. All right. So in 24 hours, if you're green and if you follow the guidelines, right, we have a scoring system, which we'll get into in a bit, that you're definitely not used to, but that's okay. We're here to hold your hand, walk you through it, and walk shoulder to shoulder with you to make sure that you succeed. All right. We're going to be completely transparent. We're going to break down everything that you need to know in order to succeed.
Yeah, honestly, I'll talk from my experience. If you're a trader, let's see if you can relate to me. So in my experience, I've always been, I could pass the evaluation, right? I passed the evaluation, right? And then you realize, all right, 5 days of consistency. I get the consistency 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And then sometimes at the end, you're like, oh, I'm so close to the finish line. I'm about to get a payout. You can literally taste the payout coming. And then all it takes is 1 day and your account, boom, down the hill, down the drain, right? So for me, coming to the desk and literally 1 day already funded, getting that payout, I'm super confident in my ability to get a payout and trade well for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, right? But having that consistency in an evaluation for weeks can be tough. For me, I've literally blown up many accounts literally just on that last 2 to 3 days before I get the payout. So I understand how it feels. I know a lot of you guys, maybe you're new traders, feel the same exact way, but this is literally a whole different experience. And from my experience, I've been very confident in my trading, knowing that, all right, I'm just going to wait for the right conditions and get in and trade well the entire day, right? Trade well 1 day and then the next day, boom, right into the wallet. And you already got a payout. Insane.
I did. We'll get into that in just a second. But something else I want to talk about is how much money we are really spending as traders on evaluations. All right. We did a lot of research and a lot of homework before we came to this podcast. We scraped every single Reddit thread out there that talks about prop firms, prop trading in general. And we got a huge database of knowledge. And what we found, guys, and you can also find this in the FAQ, we talk about this as well, is the fact that most traders, before even getting a singular payout, they blow at least between 40 to 70 evaluations.
Even more, 40 to 90.
And that's just on average. Yeah, you're right. And that's just on average. That is just on average.
Before getting one payout. And think about it. Every account that you get, maybe it's $100, maybe it's whatever, $75. Let's do the math right now. Do you have your calculator?
Yeah, no, we're going to do the math right now live. And
let's go in the middle. Let's say it's 75 accounts before you get a payout.
ChatGPT, I got a quick question for you. I'm a prop trader, and let's say I spend about $100 per evaluation, and let's say that I blew 90 evaluations before getting my first payout. How much money did I spend? Pretty easy question. Let's see.
If each evaluation costs $100, then 90 evaluations would cost $9,000.
So 9,000 is the base for an average human trader.
Yes. 9,000 is the base for every average trader out there. Now look, there's some guys who have become profitable in their first year. If that's you and you're watching this video, yes, you're an anomaly, and shout out to you because you defied the laws and you defied the numbers. $9,000. Now look, that's not even including live capital as well, because I'm sure you've put money into some sketchy ass MT4 broker, right? Which a lot of them have shut down. Maybe you put some money in AMP, maybe you put some money in a Ninja Trader or Tradeovate, and you try to do it on your own, and you most likely lost some money there too. And I'll be completely honest, I've lost a ton of money trading. I started in 2019. My first experience in the markets, and I'll talk about this briefly, but I don't want to take away from the subject here. You know, my first experience was basically me trading MT4, trading Euro USD. I had no idea what I was doing. Got into trading through an MLM, and it was an automated algorithm that basically we were trading in the MLM. And I did see some slight success in the beginning, but obviously I got greedy. I had no risk management parameters. I cranked up the settings, and I didn't know that Brexit was happening. First of all, I didn't know what red folder news was. Nobody had told me what it was. I had no idea. I didn't know what Brexit was, right? So I had $6,000 in my live account. First time ever going live. You know, I'd done some small, accounts here and there before. And this was before props. Like, this is before I even knew about props. Prop industry was still very young, very new. I'd say maybe only FTMO was around and some other props were just starting to emerge. And at the end of the day, what ended up happening was, boom, red folder, Brexit hit. Algorithm started doing martingale strategies.
Oh, no.
As we got into drawdown, it kept taking more positions and more positions until the account fully liquidated itself, because Brexit did crash the market quite a bit. I mean, if you don't believe me, go back to 2019. Go back, go find Brexit, go to the chart, and you tell me what happened that day. All right, that's literally my account. It got bursted. And that $6,000 was not money that I had to actually waste. That was money for my student loans, right? So that was given to me for school, for me to afford college, books, classes, food, rent, basically just survival and education, and a loan that I had to pay back. So boom, seeing that wiped out, that ultimately changed everything for me. I had to find out how I'm going to pay the rest of the semester, how to really lock in. And it overall was not a good experience. With the prop firms nowadays, you guys have a great opportunity. And especially with the desk, you guys can trade a $50,000 account for around $30, depending on the promotion. So definitely the ROI is there. We'll get into the ROI exactly in a bit. But yeah, that was just my personal experience. I'd love to hear your experience. Please let us know in the comments.
Drop a comment, guys. Drop a comment.
How did you get into trading? What was your first experience like trading? How much have you lost trading? How much have you spent in evals? Let us know if you have similar stories, because I'd bet that most of you do.
I want to, before we move on, I want to go back to the 90 failed evaluations that traders go through, right? So we asked ChatGPT how much on average a trader spends before getting their first payout, and it said $9,000, right? $9,000. But you have to keep in mind that all these firms, they have payout caps, right? Their payout caps could be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, right? So at the end of the day, you're spending $9,000 to maybe get back $3K in total. So your ROI, you're still negative. You've still lost $6,000, right? With the desk, it's completely different, right?
Absolutely. No payout caps. That's another question we see all the time. Is there a payout cap? And we're happy to say there are no payout caps.
Nice. And the only rule, we'll go back to it again because it's very important. You guys need to hear it. The only rule that we have is the 7% drawdown, but don't just use that as a standard to, all right, let me just not hit 7%, right? Because it's a metric system that grades your trading. You want to stay as far away from that 7% as possible, right? You want to stay below 1%, below 2%, maybe even below 3%. The more that you get closer to that 7%, your payout split is just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So this is not a way or a means to gamble and try to make so much money without hitting that 7%. You want to trade effectively. You want to follow your plan. You want to have risk management. Risk management is probably the most important thing, right? Because I'd say on the grading scale, the drawdown is probably the main factor that takes into account your trading, right? So keep it low, keep your risk tight, and just keep on scaling up. Keep on scaling your account. Take trades, take multiple trades, right? You want to take an array of trades, not just one or two bangers and say, oh, look, I have $6,000, but why is my payout only $100, right? Guys, we need to see multiple trades. We need to see tight risk, and that's pretty much it.
Now, a lot of traders are like, what is this scoring system? It's so confusing. I don't understand it. It's not transparent. Well, let's say, number one, it is very transparent. Everything is on the website. Now, I just want to state this. We get probably over 100 support tickets on Intercom on the website every single day, simply because traders choose not to read the rules. All right? Everything is publicly made available. We've even had people come and put a support ticket saying, hey, I'm too lazy to read the rules. How do I get a good payout? So hopefully during this video and this podcast, we can kind of explain some of that. We're hoping that you watch this video before you even start trading. All right.
We're hoping that you guys watch the FAQs, because if you really want a deep dive on every part of the scoring, anything related to the desk, you guys have to watch the FAQs. This is not a regular prop firm, right? It's not the same rules. It's not the same scoring system. You guys have to read the rules or have to read the FAQs, watch the videos, and you guys will understand in depth, right? This is not just any regular Apex lucid trading. Guys, this is different. This is different.
And the other thing we want to say is we're not here to be a replacement of any traditional prop firm either. You guys are more than welcome to continue trading with as many prop firms as you like.
Of course.
All right. Shout out to Jade Cap. He's a perfect prime example, right? I just saw on Twitter the other day, he posted, hey guys, I just loaded up on 30 more evals. Let's go. So just to show you the fact that using this industry, it is very scalable. And that's kind of the whole point and the whole purpose. Sure, if you're ready for it, jump on the copy trader, grab your 20 evals, your 30 evals, go ahead and build your capital. It is possible. Chase your dreams, right? You can absolutely trade as much as you want with any other prop firm. And you can also trade us at the same time. All right. You could trade your New York session, with your prop firms, with your copy trader. And then later in the day, if you have some extra time, maybe for Asia session, London session, New York PM, anytime you have free time on your hands, you can go ahead, jump on the desk, grab an account, trade for 24 hours. All right. It's not meant to be super high pressure. And it's not meant to make you trade any specific certain way than you already do. But we're going to explain how to succeed. Because listen, at the end of the day, we're tired of people saying, we want to see traders fail. That is absolutely not true. I'd say for most prop firms, that kind of is the case, that they do, of course, want to see you fail. But here at the desk, my name is Renzo, and I do want to see every trader win. I don't need to see any more traders go ahead and lose $6,000, $9,000 before they ever see a profit. All right. This is here so that you can start You can start instantly, and you can get quick, and you can get moving. All right.
You know what's actually funny though? Since we launched, I've already seen a few other prop firms start doing the same exact thing. And I read through the comments too on Twitter. I read through the comments and I see all these traders are like, now they're like, oh wait, this is something that is actually shaking the industry. This is something that I needed as a trader. So like, we know what you guys are seeing and what you guys are thinking about this, and it's been great opinions. People are loving it.
100%. So let's get into how to succeed on this platform. All right, we're going to reveal all the sauce, this public YouTube video. This is completely free. You know, we're here, sitting here today to provide you guys the value and provide the tips, the tricks, the secrets. All right, we're putting it all on the table for you today. We want to see you all succeed, and we're going to tell you exactly how to do so. All right, so first thing we want to talk about here is number one, the claim that traditional prop firms are more predictable because their rules are known in advance. It's just false. All right. I hate to say it, guys. It is a truly false comparison. Everything in regards to the desk, in regards to the Q score. And if you don't know what the Q score is, it is how we score your trading. It is completely public and it is not hidden. And you can also see your score in real time. Now, here's the most simple way to think about it. Because again, like I said, most traders in this industry are brainwashed to the traditional rules, right? You know, you get X amount of drawdown, stay away from the drawdown. You got to make your 3K to pass. And that's pretty much it. Consistency, you know, and you're pretty much fighting and jumping through those hoops.
And you know what the funny thing is too? I feel like a lot of traders are defending the old prop firm model. They're like, oh no, this is how it should be. This is what it is. But they're not getting paid. Right? They're spending all this money defending the rules and stuff, but you guys are not getting paid. You keep going back to the same model and nothing changes. But this is literally completely different model. Very, very simple, way more straightforward. And people are getting paid on literally the first account that they buy, which is insane.
Now look, there's an easy way to think about it, guys. I'm sure most of you have been to school. Hopefully, most of you have gotten some sort of education in your life. And in school, what happens? You take a test. You get grades based on how well you perform. So that's pretty much the exact logic we are using. All right. If you've ever taken a test in your life, whether multiple choice or some other kind of test, you're basically familiar with receiving your test back in a few days and saying, hey, you know, I got a 74 on my test. I got an 85 on my test. So that's pretty much how this scoring system works. It's a simple scoring system, right? From 0 to 1,000. All right. 0 means you failed the test. You absolutely failed it. You ruined it. You had a horrible score.
Blown account.
Pretty much a blown account. And the way you get a 0, first we'll talk about the bad. The way you get a 0 is number one, you over leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
The closer you get to that 7% drawdown, the lower your score is going to be. All right. So think about this as a test. Like you're in school, your scoring or your trading is scored. Okay. So the goal is, you know, a perfect score in school. You want to get 100 on your test. Well, at the desk, you want to get 1,000. All right. Just add an extra 0. Very easy. Okay. So how do you get 1,000, right? If you get 1,000, let's say you get a perfect score, you are able to get a 99% profit share. Okay. Most prop firms only give you a 90%, top step 50%. So we're actually able to earn up to 99%. All right. So you pretty much got a 0 to 1,000 and you're trying to get as close to 1,000 as you can, a perfect score. Now we're going to tell you how to get a 0 and we're going to tell you how to get 1,000. All right. First thing I want to say before we even get into the mechanics of the scoring system is there's two types of traders. All right. Got trader A and you got trader B. Trader A is someone who comes into the desk. They are brainwashed by regular prop firm rules and they go ahead and they think they know what they're doing. And their goal is to make the ultimate bag that they can.
Yep. Full
and
porting.
they basically come in, they full port the account, right? Maybe they wait for one trade setup and they put all their risk on the table and they send it, right? And maybe, let's say there's two scenarios, right? You're either going to bust the trade and you lose, and you pretty much over leveraged. You wasted all your drawdown, and you pretty much bursted the account there. So yes, trader A is going to get a 0% profit share. Now, the other thing that might happen to trader A is maybe he comes in, he full ports it. He uses a lot of risk, overexposes himself to the market, too much margin, too much exposure. And basically, let's say he does get $10,000, right? He makes $10,000. At the end of the day, that trader A, can still qualify for a very, very low payout score because he over-risked, he over-leveraged. Now, if you're someone who likes to over-risk, over-leverage, gamble, full port, whatever you want to call it, unfortunately, this is probably not the place for you to be. So we just want to state that up front so that you don't come in, you don't buy an account, and you send the account right off the bat because you're trying to make a huge payout, and you don't understand the rules, right? You're basically not going to succeed. We want you to watch this video so you can understand how to succeed. The way that you succeed is by being a trader who takes multiple trades, right? Ideally, because the scoring system needs data at the end of the day. We score you on your data. We score you on your decisions, your behaviors. There's different key factors, and we'll get into each specific one that basically is what the scoring system is comprised of, okay? So we're going to analyze things like how long you hold your trades for, how close to news are you trading? Are you trading the news volatility? Are you trading before and after news, right? So there's different things that we look at, but at the end of the day, let's just talk about risk for right now. Do not come in and full port this account because even if you make $10,000, $20,000, you could still earn a very slim profit share, and we don't want that for you, okay? The way you succeed is you grab an account for $30, and what you do with the account is you come in and you're going to say, hey, I'm going to take 5 to 6 prime setups throughout the day. I'm going to try to make, let's say $70, $100, maybe $200 per trade. And let's say in a perfect scenario, right? We all know life's not perfect, but just for hypothetical purposes, for you guys to understand, let's say you come in, boom, you take a trade, low drawdown, you make $100. You close the trade, all right? You come in 15, 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, an hour later, doesn't matter. You got 24 hours, all right? At least some time later, you take another trade, boom, let's say you make $100, boom, you close the trade, all right? You do that a few times, right? You're going to have the highest profit score out there. All right, you're going to be able to get close to 99%. So the way we want you to think of it is you come in, you grab the account for $30, and you try to make, I don't know, $300. I mean, that's already a 10x return. That's a 10R, basically. You're buying something for $30, right? And you're able to make $300, and at the end of the day, withdraw majority of that, let's say $250. You're able to take something and get something out of nothing, basically. And that's the entire idea. The idea is not to come in here and boom, how can I get a 10K payout, a 20K payout, even a 5K payout, guys? Do not shoot for the moon. You're here to be a trader that is very well scored, right? Very good trading decisions and behavior. And if you can do that, the scoring system is going to reward you. All right. So take a few trades.
Yeah. You got to just think about it like base hits, right? You're playing baseball. You're not going for the home run every time. I've seen traders come in here and they have, 15K P&L and they're like mad that they only got like $30 on their payout. Guys, this is literally like, think about it like baseball, base hits. Keep on going, base hits, base hits, base hits. If you go for a home run every single time, right, maybe you'll get a few home runs, right? But at the end of the day, you're not consistent. And like we said, this is literally data. So we want to see, multiple trades. We want to see consistency, even though there's no consistency rule. We want to see skill. We want to see you guys trade with skill and not just luck. So if you can come in here, hit base hits, maybe get like 5 or 6, nice base hits, and let's say your P&L is $500, you're going to take home more money than someone who comes in here and tries to go for home runs every time. And maybe their P&L is, $3,000, $4,000, but they're most likely not going to take home as much as someone who makes $500 P&L, but has 5 great trades.
So the way I would like you to maybe visualize this is your P&L curve. All right. Your P&L curve, I'd say maybe the best scenario is going to be like a staircase, right? We all know what a staircase looks like. Imagine you're looking at a staircase, but instead of looking straight on, you're looking at it from the side. And you can basically see the stairs, right? This is what we want to see, all right? If you're someone who can take a few scalps, maybe the perfect day for you is to trade a trend day where price is falling through and below the 200 moving average, and we're melting on the 4-hour. So all you need to do that day is basically, take a short, scalp it, take some profits, find another re-entry at the 200 or the 50 EMA, scalp it, right? And you're taking those profits, and you're not holding to the moon, but you're closing positions, you're increasing your P&L, and at the end of the day, pretty much will look like a staircase. Traders with that P&L curve are going to do absolutely well. All right, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill it here.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of traders, this is called daily funded sessions, right? You're getting paid every day. It's not like you're going to be getting these $5,000 payouts every day. That's just not how it works. But if you can come in here and be consistent, like he said, like a staircase, your graph looks like a staircase, you can be getting ROI on your payments every single day. You could be getting 2R on whatever you pay every day. And if you can trade consistently, that's going to add up versus, being on these accounts, these funded accounts for 3 weeks and then blowing them and saying, oh, so close, and then spending another $500 and getting more.
Let's put this into perspective for you guys, all right, to show you the power. Because look, I'm sure most of you are watching this video and you're basically probably thinking in the back of your head, $200 is not that much profit. I'm not going to be able to change my life with that. $300, it's okay, right? But let's talk about the power of able to do this if you really, really, truly have the skill to be able to do this over and over again. Let's talk about the numbers. Yo, ChatGPT, I got a question for you. If a trader makes $200 a day, 5 days a week, what does that come up to at the end of the year? And you can remove bank holidays. Just give me a number.
Can I check that? If we assume about 250 trading days a year after weekends and US market holidays, that's roughly $50,000 a year. If you just count weekdays and ignore holidays, it's about 52,000.
All right, and what is the average salary for an American right now?
Let me check that. For a full-time worker in the US, the average is roughly $67,000 a year. So that $50,000 a year from trading would be about 75% of that.
All right. So let's be honest, $67,000 a year, that's considering if you even have a job. All right. Most people probably watching this video, you probably don't even have a job. Most of America right now, I hate to break it to you, is unemployed, unfortunately, is looking for work. And, if you're able to find a quick and easy job, you're probably not even getting $67,000. You're probably definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. So you can make roughly 75% of American average salary from trading with the desk. If you're able to make, $200 a day, give or take. Now, obviously, you can do a little worse. You can do a little better. But let's just say on average, if you can pull that in, would that change your life? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. If you're watching this video, if you can make $50,000 a year from trading, would that change your life? Would that be helpful? Maybe you would have more time. Maybe you could spend more time with family. Maybe you can afford new things. Maybe you have a job and this is additional income, right? If you have a $67,000 job and you trade with the desk, boom, you're well past 100K salary. You're definitely living in another tax bracket. You're able to live a little bit more luxurious life. All right. So at the end of the day, the power is there and the opportunity is there. Okay. Now, we're not saying every single trader is going to come in and make $50,000 a year, but the power is there and it's all in your hands, guys. The opportunity is there. You could take it and run with it as far as you want. So at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you know, I think this could change a lot of people's lives.
100%.
So let's talk about the Q score, guys. You're probably wondering a little bit about the Q score. You're probably wondering how it works, you know, the scoring system. We're going to talk about it here. All right. So when you get your account at the desk and you log in and you go to the trading terminal, you'll see the charts, the trading view charts, and you'll also see all of your analytics. It's right there in front of your face. All you need to do is open your eyes and look at the screen. Here's what you'll be able to see. You will be able to see your Q score in real time. All right, so you'll be able to see your score live as you take a trade, as the trade fluctuates in and out of drawdown. You'll be able to see your rating, all right, and as you close profits, okay, you'll be able to see your current profit share in real time as well. All right, so this is not anything that's hidden from you. It is all available from the first second that you get the account, the first second you take the trade. You'll be able to see all of your analytics and everything there, okay? So there's 16 metrics in total that influence the score. And we're going to get into those metrics, but you can see each of those metrics right there on your dashboard. All right. You'll be able to see how each metric is performing individually. All right. So each individual metric has its own scoring system. Okay. And you'll be able to see why the score is increasing or decreasing, what changes in your trading can improve it. All right. Because we're not here to just score you and leave you alone. We actually want to see you succeed. So we're going to tell you exactly how to succeed, right? Maybe you drawdown and you need to stay out of drawdown, all right? Whatever it is specific to your account and your trading live based on your data, it's going to be there for you. And we're going to tell you exactly how to do better and how to maximize your score. We also provide detailed guidance explaining how stronger risk control, position sizing, drawdown management, expectancy, discipline, and execution affect the score. All right. Now, with this being said, if you're a trader and you're in the desk and you're in your terminal and you're in your live daily funded session, you do not have to wait until the session ends to be able to discover an unexplained percentage updating in real time. Most prop firms do not have analytics
anything to
that
show
updates
you,
in
yeah.
real time, right?
It's always like a day later, right?
It's either a day later, maybe it's at midnight, maybe it's after 5 p.m. market close that you get the stats. You know, a lot of these platforms are very, very laggy. We have the analytics live in real time for you.
I mean, this is all education that people can see, right? That you can go in there first, let's say it's your first daily funded sessions, and see how you trade normally, right? And you could see, all right, well, I'm not taking profits here. I'm only taking one trade. Like, the fact that everything is right in front of you in the dashboard right there when you're trading, for me, has helped me in my psychology too, because I see like, oh, well, I need to take more profits. I'm holding too long or whatever. So everything is meant for you guys to learn. Everything is meant for you guys to grow so that you guys can grow your skill set and trade every single day and get paid. So shout out to the dashboard. That shit's clean.
So let's talk about your Q score, right? At the desk, the trader can watch the Q score and profit share change in real time. Like we said, real-time analytics. There's no lag, all right? It's everything is updated second by second, okay? So you can see how a better drawdown can increase the score, how disciplined position sizing improves the score, stronger risk-adjusted returns improves the score, consistent profitability improves the score, poor risk management reduces the score. Obviously, you got to manage your risk. I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose of trading. Weak execution will reduce your score, and better quality trading earns a larger share. So at the end of the day, you trade better, you make more. All right, this is not a static profit split. You're not going to come in and get, you know, a 90% profit split. It's up to you, right? And I live by this quote. I'm not sure where I got it from. Maybe you've heard it. If it's to be, it's up to me. All right. Everything in your life is completely under your control, your results. All right. So you have the choice to make the decision, to make the actions you need to succeed. Now, with that being said, everything's transparent. The relationship is visible. The trader knows exactly what's being measured. And if you don't know what's being measured, you're probably not ready to trade yet. All right. Just take 5 minutes of your day, read through the rules. All right, we have a calculator available on the website where you can play with different metrics and see what your profit share is going to be.
See, I like that part. I like that.
The trader is going to know why it matters and you're going to know how to improve it. And most importantly, outside the 7% drawdown, a weak metric normally reduces the share instead of deleting the entire payout. All right. So most people are going to qualify for some sort of share. All right. It's not going to just completely remove your payout. So that's the great thing. So the better you do, the more you're going to take home. Okay.
I mean, I love it. I feel like with prop firms, it's like, yeah, you pass. It's either you pass and you get paid or you get zero, right? And most times, like we just explained earlier, it's zero. But at the desk, literally most of these traders here are getting some sort of payout on their first time. Imagine they actually went to the metric score, right? And they improved a little bit. They saw what they're doing maybe poorly and started to be more consistent or whatever it is, that you can actually grow and grow your payout. But with these prop firms, like it's usually just zero.
So the Q score, at the end of the day, at the desk, the trader can watch the Q score and profit share change in real time. Like we said, real-time analytics, there's no lag. All right. Everything is updated second by second. Okay. So you can see how a better drawdown can increase the score, how disciplined position sizing improves the score, stronger risk adjusted returns improves the score, consistent profitability improves the score, poor risk management reduces the score. Obviously, you got to manage your risk. I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose of trading. Weak execution will reduce your score, and better quality trading earns a larger share. So at the end of the day, you trade better, you make more. All right. This is not a static profit split. You're not going to come in and get, a 90% profit split. It's up to you, right? And I live by this quote. I'm not sure where I got it from. Maybe you've heard it. If it's to be, it's up to me. All right. Everything in your life is completely under your control, your results. All right. So you have the choice to make the decision, to make the actions you need to succeed. With that being said, everything's transparent. The relationship is visible. The trader knows exactly what's being measured. And if you don't know what's being measured, you're probably not ready to trade yet. All right. Just take 5 minutes of your day, read through the rules. All right. We have a calculator available on the website where you can play with different metrics and see what your profit share is going to be.
See, I like that part. I like that.
The trader is going to know why it matters, and you're going to know how to improve it. And most importantly, outside the 7% drawdown, a weak metric normally reduces the share instead of deleting the entire payout. All right. So most people are going to qualify for some sort of share. All right. It's not going to just completely remove your payout. So that's the great thing. So the better you do, the more you're going to take home. Okay. So what do you think?
I mean, I love it. I feel like with prop firms, it's like, yeah, you pass. It's either you pass and you get paid or you get zero, right? And most times, like we just explained earlier, it's zero. But at the desk, literally most of these traders here are getting some sort of payout on their first time. Imagine they actually went to the metric score, right? And they improved a little bit. They saw what they're doing maybe poorly and started to be more consistent or whatever it is, that you can actually grow and grow your payout. But with these prop firms, like it's usually just zero.
So the Q score, at the end of the day, it is not just a payout calculator, right? It's basically, this is something that's very important that we need to talk about. The Q score is a real-time trading development system, all right? It gives you a standard to know how good of a trader you really are. It's a scoring system, right? And you can use this data for yourself to analyze how well you're doing. Traditional prop firm rules teach traders how not to breach an account, okay? The Q score teaches you how to trade better. So at the same time, we're teaching you how to become a better trader. All right, this is going to help you in all areas of your trading, whether it's your personal account, your other prop firm accounts, whether it's your desk account, daily funded session. Ultimately, the Q score is going to make you better, okay? It's going to make you sharper, manage risk better, and ultimately just a better trader overall, okay? We're here to make you guys better, and that's really key.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the product where you can buy funded sessions for the whole month, right? So if you can look at your Q score and see how you can grow throughout the month, you're gonna see your score go up, and you're gonna get paid. You're gonna keep getting paid. There's actually real ROI to this and education.
So again, let's compare it to a traditional prop firm. A traditional prop trader is going to learn how not to lose 2% a day, right? That's basically what you're being trained to learn. A desk trader can learn how to control position size, how to reduce unnecessary drawdown, how to improve expectancy, how to avoid oversized exposure, how to produce more consistent profit, manage winners and losers effectively, and build a higher quality trading process. All right. So the first system with traditional props is more so about avoiding disqualification, right? And the second with the desk is about developing a measurable skill, okay? And that's why this score exists. And that's what allows us to actually remove the evaluation. All right, you're able to start trading live instantly. So here's what transparency actually means, okay? Transparency does not mean reducing an entire assessment to 3 hard rules. Transparency means what is measured, how it's measured, how they're currently performing, how that performance affects their reward, and what they can do to improve it. The desk provides all 5 of those things for you. The Q score and the current share, again, are visible in real time. Now, something else we could talk about briefly is, yes, it's a 24-hour session, but you're not required to trade the entire 24 hours. Let's say within the first few hours, you already got some good trades, you have enough data that your Q score is decent, and you're happy with your profit share. Right, you can actually end your session if you're happy with your profit share. You can end your session at any time. You do not need to wait the full 24 hours. Say 9 hours in, as long as you did your KYC and it's approved. We use SumSub, you guys have already used with other prop firms, and we use Rise, and we use crypto, USDC. Boom, I took my payout. It took, 2 minutes to get to me? Most props are taking an hour. I mean, an hour is pretty good, honestly. Most props are taking a lot more than that. So that's a little bit about the desk, about the Q score, about the 16 metrics. They're all explained for you. And you always receive guidance and feedback on how to improve your score, all right? So the connection between behavior and score and payout is all observable during the session, okay? That is much more substantially transparent than a firm saying, here's 7 rules, miss any one of them, and your payout is 0. The correct internal position. We should never, guys, as traders, accept that the Q score is unknown, all right? It is fully transparent. If it's unknown to you, it's because you didn't read the rules and you didn't do your research.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are confused or don't know exactly how it works, go in there and you can toggle how many trades, you can toggle risk, drawdown, how long you're in each trade. Toggle it and get familiar with it so that when you trade, you know how you trade and you know what's going to work for you, right? It's not just random, right? This is a Q score that is very detailed and it's all right in front of you. So if you guys are not familiar, go and mess around with it before you trade so that you can get the highest score that works for you.
Now, here's a good analogy, right? Let's say you're going to go buy a car. So how do you buy a car? Well, you go online, cars.com, car gurus, whatever it is, maybe even Craigslist, right? If you're trying to save some money. At the end of the day, if you're going to buy a car and you're going to invest $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, maybe even $60,000 on a car, you're going to do your research. All right. At the end of the day, you do not want to buy a car that's going to be a clunker, that's going to break down. You're going to do everything in your power to make sure that for that investment of you buying a car, that you buy a car that's trustworthy, that's reliable, that's secure. You know how to drive it. Is it stick shift? Is it manual, right? Hopefully you get the Carfax, right? You read the VIN number, figure out if there was any damage to the car, right? At the end of the day, treat it like a car, guys. This is a vehicle to get you to success in your life, okay? If you buy a car, you're going to do your research. You're going to want to know, was that car banged up, right? Is this car going to take me from A to B reliably, all right? I know most of you are probably not going to buy a car, walk in there and just trust the salesman and say, yeah, just get me this car and I don't need to read any of the details. Just get me the car and I'm out of here, right? That's not how it works. Treat it like that, all right? This is a good analogy to kind of understand what you're getting yourself. Your research, you're going to want to be prepared, okay? You're going to want the Carfax. You're basically going to want to do your homework before you go and get that car and you drive out of there, okay?
Of course.
So, guys, traditional prop firm rules, they're not more transparent than our rules, okay? They're simply more binary. They tell traders exactly what conditions will reduce their payout to zero. But at the desk, we show your Q score, all right? Your profit share, and your 16 metrics in real time. Traders can see why your share is changing, detailed guidance on how to improve it, and outside of the single 7% drawdown rule, weaknesses normally reduce the reward. Okay, so if you have a bad session, that's fine. You're probably just going to get a little bit less of a payout split, okay? You have a great session, right? You're going to get a higher payout split. This is a dynamic profit share, okay? This is not a black and white thing, all right? On how well you do better. And you do better, you earn more, all right? It's very easy. So that's a little bit about the Q score, guys. We hope that clears up a lot of questions on the scoring system. If you want to go more in depth, you absolutely can. We are releasing FAQ videos for you on the website. You have your dashboard, your live trading terminal where you
Everything
can
is
see
right
all
there.
the metrics.
Literally everything is right there. And not only that, but like just seeing the Q score in general helps me personally, helps me trade better just because I know how I trade, and how I was trading props before was very like go big or go home, right? I'm like not trying to fail the account. I want to pass the evaluation. I want to get paid. But when I was looking at the Q score, I saw some things that I was able to improve, like just taking more trades, taking more profit, and not just holding bangers, because at the end of the day, that's not going to be consistent. And it has helped me a lot personally. So I love the Q score. Shout out.
Now let's talk about ROI here, because the ROI, it is a lot better. We'll be completely honest. The ROI is a lot better at the desk, and we'll talk about why that is, okay? So, yes, you can buy an evaluation from a traditional prop firm with a 90% profit share. And prop firms train traders to focus on the headline share. 80%, 90%, maybe even 100% payout with maybe a sketchier firm. Pass the evaluation, the funded account, avoid every hard rule, satisfy all the payout conditions, and finally reach your payout. All right, so there's a lot of hoops you got to jump into to be able to actually qualify for that 90% payout share. So the desk, we're basically removing all those hoops you got to jump through. We're removing the funnel, all right? Every daily funded session is already a payout opportunity, okay? The Q score and the current share are visible in real time, like we mentioned before, and profitable sessions earn the share after their trading quality supports it, unless the 7% drawdown is reached. Again, if you hit the 7%, that's the only hard rule. Everything else is simply a scoring system. Now, at your traditional prop firm, let's say you're aiming for a $900 payout, all right? And at the desk, let's say you're aiming for a $900 payout as well. So the approximate fees required based on all the data we've collected, again, we did a lot of data here before we got into this podcast. The amount of fees it requires for you to be able to get a $900 payout from regular prop firm is you're going to spend on average at least $2,000. Different evals, and at the desk, at most, anywhere from $300 to $400, okay? So let's break that down into the return per $100 spent, okay? For a traditional prop firm, it comes out to a $41 return per $100 spent, while at the desk, you're actually able to pull $230 to $287 per $100 spent.
Nice. No, that's great.
So think about it like this. If I give you $100, would you rather get $41 or would you rather get $230? You tell me.
Give me more money.
Give me more money, all right?
Simple.
Give me more money and give me it faster. So, talking about the fee efficiency, all right? You're getting a 1x fee efficiency at a traditional prop firm, and at the desk, you're able to get 5 to 7x better returns, okay? So let's talk about what happens before the payout, all right? You got to do the eval.
Always goes back to the eval. Once I pass the eval, I'll be profitable.
Once I pass the eval, I'll be profitable. Yeah. Traders who can trade all day on paper, well, for some reason, when it comes to that eval, you're cooked. You're cooked, man. You spent all your money, right? You're spending all your income on evals. And honestly, that's a horrible loop to be in.
For sure.
I've been there.
I've been there.
He's been there. Every trader has been there. All right. Unless you're God, unless you're Jesus Christ himself, and you just came down from the sky.
Teach me your way.
You're past your first eval and got $1 million payout. I mean, you can't even do that anyways with the profit caps.
Yeah.
Right? All the futures firms nowadays, the max payout you could take, first payout, $1,500. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're pretty much handicapped all around.
For sure. For sure.
At the desk, however, pay from your first session, you can get paid. All right. And we've seen it before. We've seen traders come in. Now, this is not everyone. Not everyone is going to get paid on their first session. All right. We don't want to make that a false expectation. However, we have seen it that a trader comes in, they have the skill, right? They got a good score. They come in and they get paid on their first session. All right. It's possible. You got to do your homework. You're going to buy this car. You're going to get the Carfax, right? Make sure you do your research. Watch the videos. Read the rules. In the Discord, in the announcements tab, we have everything there for you. Pinned. All right. It's very simple. Do not put a support ticket in. Please don't waste our time if you're not serious. This is for serious traders who are ready and want to try something new. At the end of the day, we're changing the industry. All right. We want to make it clear. We know in 6 months' time, in 1 year's time, this model is going to be everywhere. All right. We already see competitors.
We see it. We see it. We see y'all
Trying to steal the sauce,
trying
man.
to steal the sauce, but it's okay. Steal it because it works. It's a real way to get paid. So
All right. So
the off the bat ROI is already better, right? You get paid more times, you get paid more money per evaluation or per account.
every session, again, every single session qualifies for a payout. Okay. That's what's different, right? Every eval you get with every regular prop firm, it doesn't qualify for a payout. It qualifies for a funded account, right? If you pass,
And then you pay more.
right, then you pay the activation, right? You drop another $100, $99, $150, activation fee, $129, whatever it is, right? You're putting more money out there. And at the end of the day, we don't think it should be that way. All you got to do is wait for a nice trend. You know what I'm saying? Buy your accounts, time it, wait for the right market conditions. You know, don't go buy 5 desk accounts during the choppiest markets and blow them all, right? Be strategic. And again, go for the base hits. Go for the base hits. Don't go for the home runs. So at the end of the day, the numbers are there. You know, I'm just going through all the numbers here, and the ROI is 5 to 7x better. Okay. It's just better. It's absolutely better. You cannot deny that the ROI is better. Okay. I'm going to log in here to my desk account and show you guys. Yes, I got paid from the desk. No, it's not marketing. I can show you all the executions. I can show you the certificate. All right, I'm going to show it to you right now, actually. All right.
We'll drop a little screen recording or something. Let's flip
here.
it. Fuck it.
I'm on thedesk.com. All right. Here's my payout certificate. Boom.
Wow.
Can you see it?
Congrats. Funded trader.
Can you
Paid
see it?
trader.
That's
Paid
me.
Trader.
All right. And I want to say this. This was my first ever account on the desk. I was one of the traders. Look, I'm not God. I'm not Jesus Christ. But I am one of the traders who came in
The profit.
on my first ever account. I was able to earn $120. And I was able to earn $120
Of a $30
off
account.
a $29 account.
4.
You tell me what's
R.
the ROI.
That's a 4R on your first day.
And here's the other cool thing. All right. This is a verified certificate. You guys can go to the website and you'll be able to see all the certificates. But not only that, you can actually go scan it. All right. There's a little QR code right there on the corner.
Shout out the QR.
You click on it, scan it. All right. Boom. I just scanned it. Look.
Boom.
Verified payout certificate.
Nice.
Lorenzo was paid $120. The desk has paid out this to Lorenzo on August 4th, 2026. All right. And there you go. Auto deposited to wallet. That's the other cool thing. You don't have to go manually request your payout like you got to do on all these prop firms, right?
Mhm.
You got to manually request it,
Right.
choose the amount, right? The cash is automatically deposited
Straight
to your
the
wallet. And there's a couple things you can do with your wallet. You can purchase more accounts if you like, or if you want to do a withdrawal, you can do a withdrawal at any time. All right, at any time. I received my payout within 2 minutes. All right, I received it via crypto. I decided to go USDC. All right, I'm not a huge crypto guy. I'm not the most advanced when it comes to crypto wallets. Honestly, every time I'm sending crypto, I almost have a panic attack on the inside because I'm scared that what if I typed in the number wrong and it goes to some random guy, right? But at the end of the day, look, I'm going to show you guys my Coinbase.
There you go.
Right here.
Nice.
$120. I haven't even taken it out of my Coinbase. All I did was take the USDC, sent it to my Coinbase. What I want, I got paid the same day.
Hey.
I mean, this is a game changer, guys. And again, yes, this wasn't a home run. This wasn't a $10,000 payout. But, for 24 hours or less, you know what I'm saying? $120. I mean, that could be more than people are making at their job, an 8-hour shift.
For sure. I mean, people are getting paid what, like $15 an hour? That's like $60, $70 at the end of the day. It's like
literally 2x'd it. Literally 2x'd it.
that.
All you need is Wi-Fi. You can trade on the phone. You can trade on the laptop. Need a desk.
It's all right in front of you. The desk. That's it.
So that's a little bit how the payout works. And here's the other thing as well. I'm going to go to the website here and let's show you some other traders who have succeeded on the platform. All right. Because maybe you don't believe me yet. And that's fine. All right. You don't have to believe me. I'm just going to show you all the proof. Okay. So like we said before, $22,000 in verified payouts. All right. Everything is completely verified. As you can see right here, all the certificates scrolling, but you can actually click right here, see all 317 certificates. Over 317 traders have been paid, and they made a total of 22,000. Over 22,000. We need to update the site. Honestly, it's a little outdated, but yes, you can see the current payouts of traders is over $22,517. Now look, these aren't $1 million payouts. We get it, but traders are earning $120. I don't know. You read it for me.
120, 18, 367, 6, 82, 52, 6, 29, 6, 49, 26, 133, 7, 262, $1,400, $900.
Yeah, shout out to Jacob, by the way, because he snapped, right? That might be one of our biggest payouts. I don't think it's the biggest one.
That is CSE.L. C.L. Well, shout out to you, C. I mean, $1,400 is freaking amazing on a $30 account.
Yeah, Jacob, if you're watching this video, we want to get you on the podcast, brother. We want to get you on the podcast.
Let's do it, man.
We want you to share your story. All right. We want to know how you succeeded. Want to know your story. So yes, you got payouts, $500. You know what I'm saying? It's all verified. And look, if someone else can do it, you can do it too.
Let's get it, man. Y'all got to get these payouts. Tap into the daily funded sessions. Look at your Q score, right? See what you can improve it, and start getting paid instead of waiting. Don't get me wrong. You could still trade the props. I still trade props as well, but come to the desk and actually see how it works and start getting paid.
So at the end of the day, let's just make it clear one more time. All right. The average trader, let's say they buy 7 challenges, $100 each. That's $700. And after 2 or 3 months of breaches, resets, repurchasing, the real number is really closer to $1,000 or $2,000. Chasing a payout, and that payout might just come back at $500. You're spending more to get funded. The desk removes it. We remove the problem entirely. $29 to start, no challenge, no reset cycle, $1,000 in profit, and even with a 20% share, guys, that puts you ahead of where 7 challenges earlier, and without paying for the privilege of failing 6 times first. So that's the power of the desk, guys. Spain's been awesome. We're going to update you guys soon. We've had some amazing food, met some amazing people,
busting down on some good food,
enjoying the culture. We're here to escape the matrix, the American culture. Unfortunately, there's a lot of changes happening in the world, and that's really what trading gives. We wouldn't be here without trading. If it wasn't for me losing that $6,000 when I started, I wouldn't be here today. You're going to fall. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to fail, but all that matters is how many times you get up and you keep pushing. All right, guys. So it's been a great podcast here. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast, and we will see you very soon on the next episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram.
Come on,
And
guys,
we got a
join.
ton of giveaways going. If you're not already tapped in, join the giveaway. It only takes a second to join, right? Post your story. Boom, you're entered in. All right, we want to see you guys win. We're here to break it down for you transparently, honestly, and we're not holding back. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
See y'all, traders.
Peace.